Um, Lately, today especially, um, I keep trying to pry into God's mind or His plans or His intentions. What He's planning. Like uh, what He wants me to do. Uh, Eventually, down the road. I keep trying to get because only He knows the full picture. Only He does. And so I'm trying to get little pieces out of them, because I'm curious. I'm curious, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I was born specifically um, to go through a lot of things, yes, but that's part of it. But I was here for a purpose after all that, like God had a plan for after everything I went through. He had a plan, you know, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. What this plan is, like I'm only getting led baby step by baby step, bit by bit. Like like why do I get led to certain places that he wants me to go to, like that type of thing. Um, it feels like he's building something, you know. So not only do people, uh, not only does he want people on the ground know who I am, like um, not just um, on YouTube, but also in churches, even in the cult, people knew who I was, and people in the metaphysical world know who I am. So many factions know who I am. You know what I mean? Many factions, um, because I get I'm a I get led, but to different places basically. And so um, many communities basically know who I am. Basically, the INFJs on here know who I am. The Star Seeds on here know who I am. The real followers of Jesus know who I am. So I'm starting to see what he's trying to do. He's trying to uh, um, get a lot of communities to know who I am for some reason. But eventually, um, there's going to be a reason why. You get what I'm saying? Why do all these different communities have seen me for a great period of time, basically? Why did he do that? You know, um, like I asked him, I'm like, if you knew the religion I was born into was false, why was I born into it? If you knew that religion was false, but for some crazy reason, I was born into it, and I experienced the whole cult experience for the most part. I was allowed to go through that whole hell, hell on earth. I was allowed to go through all that for a reason, and not just that. I was allowed to be abused by religious leaders, or mainly one religious leader, um, and treated badly by other religious leaders. So basically, and scapegoated by my family, you know. So I know what it's like to be the scapegoat on top of that. Um, so all these things, um, I was allowed to experience all these things, uh, and not just that, but on this healing road. And I think this is why he has not healed me instantly. This hit me. This is why he He's never healed me instantly. He wants me. He's been wanting me, like he's been guiding me on a long healing journey to figure out how to heal me. So I'm trying out all these methods, all these different paths. So many people have seen me because I'm trying to heal myself, basically. Plus, the YouTube videos are to try to heal myself. So, that on top of it as well. I'm doing all these methods because I want to heal myself. Because it, you know, Jesus isn't healing me instantly on purpose. He's not healing me instantly on purpose. And to each his own. That's his choice, but he has a reason for it. He has a grand scheme, a wisdom that I don't see of why he has never healed me instantly. Never. Not even close. Not even close to being healed instantly. He's healed me, guided me, on a slow walk, basically. Very slow walk, So, and so I've tried many things, many things to try to repair myself and get myself healthy again, or healthy for the first time, But since I wasn't healed instantly, I've I've tried so many different methods. So tons of communities have seen me trying to be healed. I was trying to be healed in the cult. I was trying to be healed in the metaphysical world, and now I'm kind of trying to be healed in the Christian world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying all these things. But anyways, that's besides the point. And plus my job as well. Tons of people have seen me because of my job. Tons of people have seen me. They know who I am. Like, I ran into one person that I haven't seen in a while working, and she was kind of cheering me on. She's like always thinking about how I'm doing and stuff. And I appreciate her. She makes me feel good about myself. And I don't think it was an accident, but that I saw her again today. No, that was no accident, because God knows she would cheer me up, she always cheers me up to keep me going, basically, because she knows I kind of don't like it on the planet. She already knows that I'm just kind of going forward, just because. And so she's always like thinking about me and wondering how I'm doing, cheering me on from a distance, basically. But God always does that, like it's almost like he knows I need these motivational things constantly. And I admit it, I can't self-motivate very well. I need motivation from other people. I know that's bad. Like, I can't really motivate myself very well. I mean, I kind of can with like movies and music a little bit, but I get more motivated when it's actually people, because it's music isn't really a real person. Movies aren't a real person, but when it's like a real person talking to me, it hits me harder, So, because sometimes I wonder, I'm like, why am I even doing this? I have no family of my own still. I have very few friends in real life, like real friends in real life, like physically around me. Like I said, quite a few of them passed away. My closest friends passed away. So that's kind of been tough to keep going. For a while there, it was tough, But anyways, but basically it's just been me turning to Jesus to help me keep going, to find a way to keep me going, you know, because I know if he can, if anybody can, to keep me going. So he's been through more than me. He's walked my road. He's stronger than me. He's watched me this whole time. He hasn't forsaken me, even though I've forsaken him. He didn't forsake me. He was watching me. You know what I mean? So I feel like I've really picked up the pace since I've been really turning to him. You know, I feel like I've been improving way faster. You know. But anyways, back to the main topic. I always go off topic, and I know that. I always do that. Every video. It's never about the topic. It just diverts, you know, wherever my mind goes, basically. But anyways, I've been trying to pry, you know, because I'm really curious about God's plan, because it's more. His plan is more detailed than what the Bible says, and I know that. There's more to his plan than the Bible knows. I know that. You know, the Bible doesn't mention me, but God knows me as part of this plan. How is that possible? The Bible doesn't know about me. No mention of me in the Bible. But God knows who I am to this plan, to him. I'm only born for this plan, basically, ultimately. That's why I'm here, basically. So, trying to stay alive for this plan, basically, to fulfill it, whatever it may be. But I'm trying not to rush the issue, though. God knows I just want to get this plan going, but he wants me to slow down. I keep getting reminded to slow the hell down, you know. Because the thing about, I hate how God moves so slowly sometimes, and this is one of those things. It feels like this whole path has been so slow, you know. But he thinks, well, I thought, you know, and I'm like, I think if I complete this plan quick and do this plan, this purpose for God quickly, I can get out of here. I can get off the planet, you know, basically. Peacefully. Like, he'll get me out of here, you know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's why you want to do this. You want to complete it so there won't be any reason for me to be here. Or for God to leave me on the planet. You know. But anyways, that's enough about that. But part of me is like that. Like, if I complete this purpose and get it over with, God may twinkle me, transport me, you know. I don't know. Man can hope. Just kidding. Like I said before, and I'm pretty confident about this. I'm 100% confident. God wants me alive on the ground, on the earth. He wants me on here. Doesn't matter where I am on the earth. He just wants me on the earth to help him with something. If I'm not helping him already, which I think I've already started to help him already on this process of his plan. I think I've started it already, helping him with his plan without even knowing it at first. And then I realized I was helping him without realizing it. By trying to help myself, I was helping him without realizing it. And that's when he brought in more subscribers. You know, seems like. But back to the topic. And I'm sorry I haven't responded to all the comments. It's hard to keep up. I admit that. Um, with all the stuff I have to keep up with in the real world, um, it's hard to keep up with the YouTube stuff. um, but I know God wants me to try to keep up with the YouTube stuff, because before it was pretty easy to keep up with the YouTube stuff. There wasn't very many subscribers. um, so now I gotta kind of do things a little differently. But I wish God would just respond to everybody's comments for me. Just have Him respond to them all for me. I know that makes me lazy, but um, why not? I mean, he can do more than I can. Be everywhere at once. you know, take care of His people more than I can. But anyways, um, but back to the topic I keep getting diverged from. I swear, I still have ADHD issues, but I think it's gotten better. But anyways, I was prying. Okay, back to the topic. I was prying, and I'm like, you're trying to build your kingdom of heaven on the earth way before Jesus does anything. And I feel like I got a yes. And I just got a yes right now. That's what He's wanting to do. He's wanting to build up His kingdom, kingdom on earth. His kingdom on earth. He wants to build it up. Maybe with me helping build it up. Other people help building up. Like He wants to help build it up in some way. Way before Jesus does anything. As far as like, when I say Jesus does anything, like whether it's the second coming, like that, like well before something like that, if that makes sense. Well before that, God wants to build up something, build up His kingdom of people, followers, build it up in some way before that. What that looks like, I'm not sure. But what I do know is God's kingdom can exist even outside of religion. That's what I've really learned. It can exist outside of religion, God's kingdom. And that's how I kind of feel Jesus was kind of just outside of religion, but he was the kingdom, but He was just outside of religion. So that's kind of how I see it, in a way, but anyways, but I felt like I got a strong yes to that. He wants to build up His kingdom. Maybe He wants me to help build up His kingdom in some way. Try to help people out of their despair while I'm trying to get out of my despair. At the same time, like all of us climbing out of our despair, basically. That's how I feel. That just feels right. Like all of us climbing out of our depression of this world, that has caused us so much pain and despair. Try to climb us out of there. But it's basically just, it's Jesus climbing us out of there. Feels like, well, at least with me, He's climbing me out slowly. But so I'm more part of the living world. I'm more alive. I'm more bright. basically, I think that's what God's trying to do. He's trying to make me more bright because I've been dark, the darkest of the dark, and He knows that. So He's trying to make me opposite. It feels like bring me out of that to brighter and brighter. Because when people see me at one time, and then they see me at another point in time, they're like, "You look brighter. You look lighter." So God is making me lighter as time goes on, and I don't really notice it. But other people notice it and they tell me. And so that's when I notice God's making me brighter, lighter, you know. And sometimes I can notice, like today I notice like I'm a lot brighter around this certain person. I'm a lot than I was the last time I saw that person, if that makes sense. Like I can compare the last time I was with this person to this time, I'm a lot brighter, a lot lighter, you know. So, but anyways, so God is doing something with making me, even though I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere ever, God is doing, making me what He wants me, like make me brighter or wait, molding me the way He wants, even if I don't think He is, even if I think I'm getting nowhere, like I do all the time, because it's hard to gauge when you're alone most of the time, like I am, it seems like, and pretty much I'm just by myself. It's hard to gauge any progress that God's doing to you, you know. So, anyways, that's enough about that. But that's what I was asking because I was really curious because like what He's trying to do right now is not in the Bible. At least I don't think so. That I know of. You know, I'm not in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? At all. So, but I'm part of this plan that He's doing. So there's things that are not in the Bible that only God knows about that He's trying to do right now. Let that sink in. So there's stuff not in the Bible that God knows about that He's trying to do. So crazy, I know. So people that know the whole Bible, all the scriptures, everything that's about to come to pass, everything that Jesus said, everything that's taught in the Bible, God knows more than is in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? About what's going to happen. That's why I say He's the only one that knows. He's the only one that knows everything, you know. So He's the only one that knows when the second coming is going to happen. He's the only one. People can predict forever, you know, they can predict forever, but they don't know. Only God the Father knows when the second coming will happen, pretty much. So, but anyways, despite Him knowing everything and knowing how all this goes and plays out, I'm still trying to get info out of Him, and sometimes I get yeses and stuff, like strong yeses, like He's trying to build up His kingdom on the earth right now, you know. And basically, Jesus is leading the way. He is. He's leading the way to all this without Him physically showing Himself, basically. Without the second coming, basically. Jesus is doing all this, in my opinion. He's brought me out of the pits of hell to this point. He's brought people that are following me on YouTube at His command, basically, to follow me on this road, basically. At the same time, the road I'm going, He wants people to see it for some reason, you know. He didn't just want me to just make videos and with no subscribers, basically. He wanted people to see it, if that makes sense. Whatever He's doing, He wants people to see it. So, and I'm trying to convey what he's doing the best I can, like day by day. Day by day, I'm trying to not try to figure it all out, but try to see where this is going in a way. But I do know that he's made sure that a lot of people in many walks of life, many communities, have seen my face. He's made sure of that. Just because I wanted to heal, he's made sure. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about that. He's made sure so many people have seen me because I want to heal myself that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because he won't heal me instantly. On purpose. Jesus won't heal me instantly. And so I get restless. And I go through all these different pathways, different modes. You name it. Through the medical system, with counselors, or the metaphysical. I've been doing it all, you know, because Jesus doesn't heal me instantly. He knows it, you know. He knows it. He knows it. He won't heal me instantly. And so I have to go through so many ways, so many methods that so many people have seen me over and over and over and over because I want to heal myself that bad. I'm tired of being an unhealed person. I'm tired of feeling like shit. So, and God knows that. So I'm trying all these methods, all these different things. I've tried all these different things. And some of the things were kind of maybe way out of God's arena as far as healing, but I tried it anyways. But anyways, enough about that. But because I feel like if I don't heal myself, I'm gonna be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be vulnerable and homeless like this. You know what I mean? So I want to heal myself, so I'm not so vulnerable. You know, basically, like just easy prey out here. You know, but and I know I've been an easy target. I know I have been for predators. You know, I know I'm an easy target, but at the same time, I'm not gonna hide in a corner. You know, fuck that. I'm not gonna hide in a corner for these bastards. From these bastards, I don't care if they target me. And God knows that. I'm not gonna hide in a corner. I've been hiding from these bastards since I was a kid. You know, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hide from them anymore. So face all of them head on. You know, whether I have to do no contact on one end and then try to go low contact on another end. You know, whatever I have to do to still live my life. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna let them push me in a corner. You know what I'm saying? So, where I'm hiding from them, you know, basically. So, fuck them. That's why I'm like going on offense. Like, I'm gonna do what Jesus wants me to do, and I'm gonna do it fast. You know, go to the Christian church. I can do that, no problem. Do what he wants me to do at that place. No problem. You know, just like I don't care if people are wanting to take me down. I'm still gonna try to help Jesus. You know, as fast as I can. Because I honestly feel like, and he probably thinks that this as well, like I can help him pretty fast. Or, you know, because don't know. When I talk, you know, I usually cut to the quick and it's hard truth. You know what I'm saying? So when I say something, it hits people pretty hard, you know. But um, so I feel like I can make a quicker impact faster than most people to get what God wants going done fast, you know. But I think that's one of the reasons why God keeps me in pain and injured and doesn't heal me, because it pushes me. You know what I'm saying? It pushes me to do his will basically faster, you know, try to do it because of the pain. Like I think my time is limited because of the pain, you know. Basically, I'm like, something's going to give out in my body. So I got to do this. I have to do this purpose as fast as possible, you know, basically. But anyways, I kind of came to the conclusion that I may never be healed in this life. So I'm just like, gotta, gotta, gotta still do what God wants, regardless, you know. So, uh, but part of what He wants is He wants me to actually enjoy life. He wants me to actually enjoy the journey, like He does. Even though He knows, like, I just want to get through it. I just want to get through this journey as quick as possible. Get done. He knows that part of the time He would want me to slow down, you know, basically. So, but I feel like He made me this way to want to get shit done, you know, fast, you know. So it's not my fault totally, I don't think, but anyways, I think God can see the future. I think, like my future self. So He knows. He knows ahead of time. He already knew ahead of time when when I was barely even alive. He knew ahead of time what I would become, and that's why He stuck with me through so much. He knows eventually what I'll become for Him, because you know what I'm saying. Like, if I invest in this person that's barely alive, you know, I don't want to see it like that, but like it just sees me as an investment. If I invest in this person that's barely alive, that doesn't want to be on the earth, eventually he'll want to be on the earth and serve his God, you know, with all his heart. I think He could see that future of mine, you know, that eventually I would serve Him with all my heart and soul, you know, from being in the depths of hell with no soul, basically. But anyways, but yeah. So yeah, I just keep trying to figure out what He's doing. It's just a curious kid, you know. I'm like his curious son, you know, prying at his father, you know. That's how I feel. I'm like his curious kid, you know, his rebellious kid too, trying to pry, you know. He won't tell his kid everything, that's for sure. I know that. At least until I'm more mature, you know. But because He knows I'll blab out everything that I know what's gonna happen, you know. That's not in the Bible. You know, He'll know I'll just blab it out. Because that's who I am. I want people to know the truth, you know. The truth should be free, you know. That's what I think, you know. Anyways. But God has His reasons. I've never understood why God has done things the way he's done it. Never. I've never understood God's ways, ever. In the cult, I didn't understand his ways at all. And I, even more so, I don't know his ways outside of the cult. Even more so, he's surprising the hell out of me. It's just like, that God in the cult was not you. You're something else, You're a lot more than that God in the cult. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you are, they were holding out on me when I was in the cult, about who God really was, what he could really do, I didn't predict that God would suffer as much as I went through. I could never have predicted that. I always thought God would be too good to have gone through that much hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Too above in the clouds to get his hands dirty in the real hell, the real muck and mire. But I can tell you, he's been through the worst hell you can imagine. He ain't just some God in the clouds. He's been through some shit. 100%. He's been through some serious, crazy shit. And I'm talking shit that people don't even know about. Like I couldn't even believe he knew about the crazy shit that I went through that I couldn't even explain. He knew about that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That I can't explain to anybody. No professional would believe the shit I went through, but God does. He went through it. So that's the crazy thing. I'm like, if God was a human, he'd be so far behind, as far as what I've been through. But since he's not, and he did go through it, he's not behind at all. He's actually ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? He's leading the way in all the hell that anyone could go through. He's leading the way, in my opinion. I'm like, shit. So I'm following someone that I know has been through so much hell. Basically, I'm just like, fuck. And anytime I complain, and this happened the last time I complained, he always brings it up. I've been through more than you. Basically, Jesus has been through more than you. So it's basically him that's been through more than me. That he's reminded me of that. And I know that. So I'm like, he has to remind me again. Like, shit. So, but I'm just like, fuck. Why'd you have to go through all that? Why'd you have to go through all that? So you have to throw it in my face all the time, I kind of liked when I believed that I went through the most out of anybody. I kind of liked that, but I can't say that anymore. But anyways, I thought today, and I think this came to me when I was watching a movie. I was watching Tombstone because it does remind me of me, Doc Holliday, and Jesus is Wyatt Earp. It does remind me of that totally. Like that type of friendship, it feels like. But something that was said, and then I don't think it was an accident that it really stuck out when I watched the movie. Wyatt Earp says, "I like old Doc. He makes me laugh." And I just laugh so hard. Because felt like he was talking about me, you know, like I make him laugh, I feel like. So I make myself laugh, you know, when I talk about Jesus, or I joke around. But I know I've made him laugh. I know that. I've had to have made him laugh. Had to have. I told you he thinks I'm funny. So even if nobody else thinks I'm funny, he thinks I'm funny. So when I'm joking around, like I know he's listening to me. I know he's listening to me, so it makes it even funnier. Whatever I say about Jesus, Wyatt Earp, I know he's listening to me. So it makes it even funnier that I know he's listening to me while I'm talking about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and stuff. Could you imagine talking about Jesus while he's listening? You know he's listening to you, and calling him Wyatt Earp. That's funny shit. That's funny. I don't care what anybody says. That's funny. That's funny stuff. But anyways, you gotta have fun when you're just by yourself, but you know God's watching you, so you gotta have fun. You know, in my opinion. So, got no friends? No problem. God's watching you, so he's your friend. No problem. You got a friend in God. So that's how I see it. But anyways, like ever since I figured out that he was watching me like 24/7, you know, ever since I figured that out like a while ago. I didn't know that for a lot of my life, but now, you know, now I know that he's watching me 24/7. So the shit I say, I know he hears me. Cuz I know he's been watching me. He watches me 24/7. So, when you know someone's watching you 24/7, you kind of just have fun with it, you know. Just make them laugh and stuff, but say funny stuff, you know. But anyways, enough about that. But anyways, he holds out on me on his plans. I know he does, but probably for my own benefit. Like I told him, I'm like, you know what's best for me better than I do. I've already proven I don't know what's best for me. I've already proven that I don't. I don't know what's best for me. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I've tried this life thing my way. I've tried it my way. Doesn't work. We know that. So you gotta lead the ship. You gotta lead me because my way doesn't work. We both know this. You know this. So you be the leader that you are, the better leader, and lead me. You know, walk, you know, guide me. Because we both know how it goes when it's just me trying to do it by myself, figuring things out. It doesn't work. I admit this, you know, doesn't work when it's me trying to do it. Everything doesn't work. So I'm like, you know what's best for me. You know me better than I know me. So you gotta lead me and kind of teach me and build me up, I guess, and make me who you want me to become. The version of me that you want me to become. I trust you that you know what you're doing. So basically, um, I think he's a master craftsman. Jesus is like a master as far as like creating the person he wants. Um, he's a master at doing it. So I feel like that's what he's doing with me. He's like crafting me slowly, you know, because I think he's more than just a healer, master healer. He can make you the person that he thinks you should be. I mean, like the better version of yourself, the new creature basically that he's making you. So, but anyways, that's what I was like. I trust you that you know what you're doing. You know, my will aside, like we know how it went with my will. We know how it went. Didn't go very well, and so I'm putting my trust in the. If I lose my life for your sake, and I was saying this today, if I, remind myself, if I lose my life for your sake, I will find my life. And I feel that that is true. I will find my life if I lose myself for his sake, because I don't know. I feel like the most I feel like myself or a person of value is when I feel like he's walking with me, like when I can feel it. We're walking together. Like I feel like I have value and importance, But I don't feel that way anywhere else on the planet, you know. He knows that I've never felt that important to anywhere else, any group, compared to me just walking with him, walking with, the leader, the lead commander, basically. I don't know, the Wyatt Earp. Walking with the Wyatt Earp. The good guy, basically. The only good guy. That's fully good. I only feel like myself when I'm walking with that kind of person. I feel like, because I honestly feel like the world sees me a certain way. I've seen myself a certain way. God sees me a different way. Totally different. And he sees me like this much more important. This is how the world sees me or saw me. Maybe even lower. How I saw me down here. This is how God sees me up here. That's what I gotta remember. Like I only feel good when I'm like walking with God, talking with God. I only feel good about myself, basically. Like I have any importance on this planet. It's when I'm just walking, talking with him, basically. Because it's like, for the most part, physically, I walk alone. For the most part, I do. But when I'm walking alone, I know he's walking with me, and I gotta remember that. So, as well. But anyways, I never know what I'm gonna say in a video. I swear. I never know what I'm gonna say in a video until it's going. I don't predict any of this. So I just wanted to talk about God's kingdom on earth, basically. But I go off on all these tangents, for whatever reason. But I'm sure there's a reason for it. Me going off on all these tangents. And that's what I was, and a part of me can't believe, because like I still think God sees me like everybody else does or did. He still thinks he may see me like they do. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of psyching myself out. I'm like, he'll just see me as a piece of crap and abandon me like everybody else. Like he'll do it eventually. That's what I was saying today. I'm like, he'll see me like everybody else does, and just abandon me. So, but hasn't so far. But that's what I tell myself. I guess because I don't think highly of myself too much. I'm like, even God would abandon me at this point. But anyways. But I think God sees that I've accomplished something. Like I've actually accomplished something for him. Since he basically saved my life from a horrible fate. I think he's seen that I have helped him. He knows I can help, like fast, many different things. I can help different areas, because I just go off my intuition barometer, where to go, what to do, But anyways, but that might have been him guiding me to all these things, might have been, possibly, because even when I don't think God's leading the ship, so to speak, he is leading the ship, even when I don't think he's leading my ship. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta remember that. So even, and I thought about this, even though the enemy's trying to hit me from one angle, God can still use that to his benefit. You know what I mean? Whatever the enemy's doing or been doing, and it pisses me off that they're still trying shit, God can still see a way to have that improve me faster. You know what I mean? So that's what I noticed. So he's using the enemy to improve me faster. Basically, it seems like even the opposition is working for God. It feels like for his benefit. Even the opposition is. You know what I'm saying? It's like speeding up his purposes. The opposition, the harder the opposition tries, the faster the purpose of God develops. You know what I mean? Seems like. But because it forces people to ascend higher, to get away from the toxicity, basically, that's coming at them. It forces people to get out of there, ascend, go to higher heights. Look for God, search for God. Like the opposition forces that. People to search for God, search for Jesus. The evil is that bad that they're like, fuck, Jesus, help me. I don't even know if you exist, but the hell is so bad. The evil is so bad that's being done to me. I don't even know if Jesus exists, but help me, Jesus. This is so bad. It's that bad that it turns atheists to Jesus. It turns atheists to being Christians. That's how bad the enemy is pushing people. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. Literally. Just like pure atheists that just believe in science. After they get attacked like this, they're begging for Jesus. They're like, help me, God, help me. I know I don't even believe in you, but help me. I want to believe in you. You know, if this evil exists, there has to be an opposite. You know, there has to be a Jesus. You know, if this evil, there has to be something. There has to be a God if this evil exists, you know, that I've experienced. So inadvertently, it's like turning all these people to God, you know, like atheists, you name it, turning everybody into Christians, you know, even me, you know, turning to God, you know, like that's how bad the onslaught is, in my opinion. On this planet, the onslaught is that bad. It's turning atheists to Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Deliver me, Jesus. You know, like it's turning everybody to Jesus, in my opinion. So, like I said, it helps God's purposes. As ugly as it is, as ugly as the onslaught is, and it's ugly. I know it is. Trust me, it's ugly, but somehow it aids God's purposes, despite how ugly it is. You know. But anyways, but that's what I think is happening. Like everybody's turning to God now. Like the onslaught is that bad. Like everyone's turning to God. You know, like help me, get me out of here, heal me. You know, save me, get me to safety. Basically, you know, it's like everybody's turning to God, even me. You know, you know, me of all people. You know, even someone that hated God for most of his life, I'm turning to God. You know, that's how bad it is. You know, it's just like, but anyways, but it's like, so it's like, see, it's like making God's kingdom go up. You know, the opposition is tearing people down so much that it's forcing them to go up. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. That's how I see it. The opposition is tearing people down so low, destroying them, that it forces them to look up to God, to start climbing up, looking to Jesus, anything to help them climb from that pit that the opposition put them in, basically. That's how I see it. But so when I see the building of the kingdom, it's like people are looking at God, ascending with God, you know, together, you know, from being destroyed basically by the opposition. They're climbing together with God now, you know. That's how I see it. Like that's how it feels. Like I'm climbing with God somewhere. It feels like I'm on this, maybe it's the narrow path, I'm not sure, but I'm on a totally different trajectory, you know, than I ever thought I'd be on in this life. Totally different trajectory. And it's pretty much God guiding the ship the whole time, you know. So, but anyways, but I think that's what he's been trying to do. Like, there's a reason, as much as I hate to say it, there's a reason why he allowed me to get destroyed completely. There's a reason he allowed it. And I feel like I got a yes to this. I'm like, did you set Lucifer at me? Did you set him upon me like you did? Like you did to Job? Did you set Lucifer upon me? And I feel like I got a yes. So God commanded Lucifer to attack me. You know what I'm saying? Like a Job type of thing. I'm pretty sure that's right. It wasn't just Lucifer doing it on his own, I don't think. It could have been a Job type of thing where God commanded him to attack me for my benefit, eventually my benefit. to draw me close to God eventually. It'll be so bad. But anyways, I don't know. I felt like I got a yes to that. That it was God's will to have me be targeted, basically, at a young age. It was His will to do that. So, but I do feel like, and I've said this to God before, I felt like it was a bit excessive for any human to go through what I went through. It was way, way, way too extensive, in my opinion. But then I get reminded, I always get reminded, Jesus went through it and more than that. So I always get reminded, as much as I hate how cruel and insane and excessive what I went through was, I thought it was way too excessive. I always get reminded Jesus went through it, and more so than what I went through. I always get reminded of that. I'm like, God damn. That's why I say Jesus is crazy. I don't care. I don't care what, I know He hears me. I know He hears me, but he's crazy. That's crazy love. That kind of suffering, that's crazy. That's insane, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't do it. What I went through by myself was bad enough. Just what I went through. Let alone I wouldn't want to do what He went through for everybody. It's insane. Like I said, it's great. It's the craziest thing anyone's ever done. Well, maybe the most beautiful thing at the same time. So I don't know. But anyways, but yeah, that's it's yeah. Anyways, that's enough about that. God already knows how much I think what He went through was insane. From what I know about it, I can't even believe He went through what I went through, let alone everybody else. Just my life, I can't believe He went through. Just my life. That's why I say He's insane. So, He thinks I'm funny, I know that, but I guess that's what love is, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I guess that's what love is. Suffer someone's life so they're bound to you, basically. Like they're bound to you by love. You suffer that. I feel like that's how it works. He suffered everything I went through, so I'm like bound to Him. You know what I mean? In a way. Like together. Like it's hard to explain. But anyways. But back to the topic of what I was really talking about. Keep getting diverted. Got a crazy mind, I swear. But, oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, I asked him. I'm like, so you're gonna try to utilize me to help build this kingdom on the earth for you. You're gonna try to utilize me to do that. And I feel like I got a yes just now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what he wants to do. He's going to utilize me somehow to try to build up His kingdom on the earth. Not in heaven, on the earth. That's on the ground. He's going to try to build it up, you know, with my help, I guess. I'm not sure who else he's kind of selected to. But like I said, I thought he would pick somebody else besides me by now. I'm in exile. You know what I'm saying? He knows I'm in exile of religion. I'm in exile, Yes, I've kind of come back to Christian church, but, I'm still in exile to, the religion I grew up in, basically, big time exile. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that I'm in exile. He still wants me to help him serve my purpose. Even way out in the outer skirts, outer rim, territory. He wants me to help him, even the outer rim, outside of all that shit, basically, And I feel like I got a big yes to that. Like, yes. Even though you think you're way out in the outer rim, you're still not on the outer rim in God's vision, basically, is what I got, So pretty much nowhere's out of bounds for God, nowhere's out of bounds for God, He can utilize me even though I'm just trying to keep separate from everything for the most part. He can still utilize me, doesn't matter to him. He'll utilize a exile, pretty much. An outsider of society, basically. He'll utilize them still. So, you got a YouTube channel? Even better. I can utilize you even more. Basically. But he knows I like making videos. He knows I enjoy it. It's like a hobby, basically. No matter what anybody says, any cut downs or anything, I still enjoy it. Making videos, I think it's fun. And it helps me. It does help me keep my sanity for the most part. And that's one thing I thought about today. I'm like, God is pretty sane for the most part. He's pretty sane. So I'm like, that's why God can help me to stay sane in a world like this. God can help me keep my sanity, because I feel like He's pretty sane. No matter what anybody's doing on the ground, no matter how crazy everybody is on the ground, I feel like God's pretty solid, sane, So that's how I feel. So if anybody can teach me serenity and sanity, it's Him. God can't teach me that. And I feel like He has been teaching me that in Al-Anon, 12-step groups and stuff. So, anyways, that it's possible to keep your sanity in a world like this. It's possible, So that's what I'm learning. So, but anyways, but yeah, no pressure on me that I have to keep myself alive and keep myself together, while God wants me to fulfill His purpose. No pressure on me to stay alive, basically. I mean, He knows I'm doing my best, the best I can think of to heal myself, to help myself. I'm doing the best I can possibly think of. He knows that. So, like I said, I didn't plan on a healing road. I didn't plan on this road. He knows that. I never planned on a road like this. I was just supposed to be dead. He knows that. I was supposed to be dead a long time ago. A long time ago, I was supposed to be dead. He knows that. That's why it's Jesus by himself keeping me alive above the grave. Pretty much, it's been Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody that's known me growing up is like, he should not be alive. He should not be getting better. It's Jesus. It's all him. You know what I'm saying? It's all him. Whatever he did way back in the day, it allows him to be able to keep me alive. You know what I'm saying? Literally, he can keep me alive because he's been in my shoes completely from start to finish. From start to finish, he's been in my shoes. Yep. Heavy shit. So, how's that for a mind fuck? He's been in my shoes from birth to my death. In the future, Jesus has walked this whole road. I know he has. I know he has. He's been me joking about him being Wyatt Earp. He's been me doing that. I know he has. As crazy as that sounds. So he's basically been me joking about himself. You know. That's why I think all this is pretty funny. You know. Because he already knows everything I'm going to say. He knows everything I'm going to say. Even tomorrow, he knows what I'm going to say. To him, off camera, to my camera, he already knows what I'm going to say. So, that's how he knows how this goes, if that makes sense. He knows what I'm going to say tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. Because he's walked this road. He's lived my life. So he can do exactly what he wants to be done at a certain time, a certain video, said a certain way, you know, just very precise. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's very precise. Seems like. So it is legit. He is the perfect kind of leader. You know, he knows how to say things precisely, when to say it, how to say it. Seems like through me. I don't know. I don't want to say that he's just kind of using me, but it is me doing it. But like, I'm choosing to do it. But I feel like he's kind of giving me what to say. Yeah, a lot of it, you know. I think that's why I divert so much, because I get new things to say. You know what I mean? While the video's going, I think that's why I divert a lot, because I get what he wants me to say for whatever reason. That's totally different from the topic that I wanted to talk about. You know, so I don't even know a lot of things I've said on this video. I'll have to rewatch it, but but I know I've gotten diverted a lot to talk about different things for some reason. And that happens to me a lot on the videos, and it kind of just hit me that I think it's been him trying to get me to talk about certain things. Maybe. Possibly. I'm not sure. But anyways. What are friends for, right? If I'm not trying to help them out, you know. So I mean, eventually I'll get the life I want. I think if I keep um, doing what I feel God wants me to do, I will get the life I want eventually. That's how I feel. So I'm like, just going with it. Um, I mean, God could give me a better life than anybody on this earth can. I know that. No one on this earth can give me a life that satisfies me like God can. I know that. And He knows. Um, I do want to be like Jesus, but in a different way. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like a side of Him. You know what I'm saying? I do want to be